Hi, my name is Frank Theodor, and I am a Hudson Valley based filmmaker. In my short film, Collision, Jonathan confesses to his best friend Isaac that he may have killed someone in a hit and run, and Isaac's world is turned upside down. I always kind of wanted to be a filmmaker, but it always felt sort of impossible and sort of like a thing that only a select few people can actually do. So when I was 17, I didn't exactly have the confidence to tell mom and dad that, hey, I want to go to film school. So I went and did something very traditional and learned a trade. I went to school to be an electrician and did that for a long, long time. And kind of woke up one morning and realized how unhappy I was and was just like, this is not fulfilling me creatively in any way. Basically, I decided that I was going to work really hard as an electrician for about a year and save up as much money as I possibly could, and then quit my full-time job and pursue filmmaking and photography, which is also something that I've done to kind of supplement and make some money. And I basically was like, okay, if I make $0 for a year, this is how long I can survive. And luckily I haven't had to go back full time and do my electrical work anymore, which is really nice. I kind of have a network of people that I'm like, man, this house is so beautiful. This house is amazing. Like, I would love to like shoot here. Actually, Collision was shot in a home of like somebody that I'm just like, yeah, would it be cool if I use your house? And they were just like, sure, why not? My first short film titled The Hole was interesting because yes, I was the writer and director, but I was the person on set with the least amount of experience. My DP was 20 years in the game. My producer had made endless amounts of short films and feature films as well. And I was just like the one guy on set who was just like, this is my first time stepping on set technically. Sort of felt like this impossible thing in the beginning. And then once you kind of actually start doing it, you quickly come to realize like, this is actually just people showing up to do their job. Right? Like, it's not very different than a trade. It kind of is a trade, right? Being a director of photography is a trade. You went to school, you learned how to do lighting and cameras and all the gear and whatnot, and you now are proficient at that. When that sort of realization happened, I was just like, oh yeah, like this is so doable and so possible. So let's just keep doing it. Collision was sort of a flash in the pan for me when it came to making something really, really short. Since I never went to film school, there was kind of a part of me that was like, did I miss out on something, whatever. So I ended up learning about Hudson, and Hudson has a apprenticeship program, and I was like, let me apply. I made one short film at the time, and it was fairly well received. So I applied for the apprenticeship program because I was like, well, I might as well try to, learn as much as I possibly can since I am so new to this. And they accepted me, and I was really, really grateful for that. And they kind of sprung on me, or us, the apprentices. There was 6 of us. They basically had us pitch to them a 5-minute short film. That is something that I always kind of was a little envious of with other filmmakers, where I have a very, very hard time shutting my brain off. And I always felt when I'm writing specifically. So like the idea of making a short film that is, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 5 minutes was always a very daunting kind of like thing for me, because I was just like, I don't know if I can tell a complete story in such a short amount of time, but I would see other people be able to do it. And I was just like, man, like that's like so incredible. So it was a fun challenge, right? That's something that I've come to learn too, right? Is like having these sort of like challenges and like deadlines and things like that are really, really beneficial, at least for me, because it kind of forces you to make something. Hudson was like, next week you guys have to pitch us a film idea, and I didn't have anything. And I drove home that night, and I was just thinking about it. And I'm like, what can I do? What can I do? The idea of Collision came to me. So I went home that night and I wrote a 5-page script and then presented it to them. And to my surprise, they actually did it. Hudson is very much like community. They make very like uplifting work, a lot of documentaries mostly. And here I come, a narrative guy with a very, very heavy story. When I was applying for them and sort of getting to know them, they were, swearing up and down that, like, we are supportive to filmmakers and we want to support local filmmaking. So when I kind of stood up in front of everybody and pitched this idea, I was like, there's no way they're going to take this. Like, I highly doubt that they're actually going to take this. And after I pitched it to them, without even batting an eyelash, they were like, great, let's do it. And I was like, really? And they were like, yeah, let's make it. It sounds great. And that's sort of how it came to be. The great thing about Collision 2 was that for a lot of the other apprentices, it was their first time on a narrative film, right? A lot of them were like fresh out of college, and they were kind of doing a lot of documentaries and like kind of doing their own little side projects, but they've never kind of been on like a proper film set. So that was really exciting too, because, we as the apprentices were also like each other's crew. So it wasn't just, it wasn't like, okay, you're an apprentice and now you're going to have to like outsource for your crew. It's like, no, we were all going to support each other and help each other get each other's films made. So that was just really nice to be, right? Because like, yeah, on my film, I was the writer and director, but then on another apprentice's film, I was, just a PA, which I have no problem doing either, right? Like, I don't care what I'm doing, as long as I'm on a film set, like, I'm very, very happy. Of course, the end goal for me is to make a proper career writing and directing. But I love just supporting local films. So I will gladly come onto your set and just be an extra set of hands if you need it. My experience with the Hudson Valley Film Festival has been amazing, actually. The people who run the film festival are really, really supportive of local filmmaking. Plus the fact that it's in a drive-in is like also kind of fun. It's just a unique experience. It's not very often that you get that kind of like old school classic feel. I have a very, very kind of romantic view of filmmaking. And I think that those type of venues need to still exist and are just such a unique and great experience for everybody. It's a proper festival and market and whatnot as well. So like you can kind of walk around and talk to vendors and meet the people who are actually running the Hudson Valley Film Festival. So it's very homegrown and it feels very organic. Collision will be screening at the Hudson Valley Film Festival Wednesday, August 13th. And actually, the great thing about Collision is that just to kind of bring it full circle, is Collision was filmed in Warwick. If I had an ideal double feature, I would love to see Paul Thomas Anderson's Boogie Nights coupled with Paul Thomas Anderson's Phantom Thread. Thing is, I like really heavy, dark movies, so my my double features are just gonna make you leave like not feeling great.